Says Halacha Yomi 443, page 443. Kvisha, pickling and salting. On Shabbat, number one, on Shabbat it's rabbinically forbidden to marinate any food in a sharp liquid, like vinegar, salt water, pickle brine, because when you put the cucumber in there, you change the quality of the food, and therefore it's considered a form of cooking. Midrabanan, it's considered bishul when you salt something. When you pickle something. So therefore, you're not allowed to do that. What about preserving food? 2. Other methods of preserving food, such as vacuum sealing a package, are not included in this prohibition. Or let's say some people put lemon juice on avocado, so it shouldn't get brown. That's allowed to preserve the food, but to pickle it and to change its quality, that's asur. Number 3, all vegetables such as cucumbers, eggplant, tomatoes, cabbage, all these things that are normally pickled are included in this prohibition. Included in this is salting things that can be improved through salting, like raw fish. Right? If you salt the fish, you can eat it raw even. So therefore, that's also enhancing the quality. It's asur. 4, one may not salt raw fish or meat on Shabbat in order to prevent it from becoming spoiled. Okay. Number 5, one may pickle an item that was already pickled. Therefore, one may take a cucumber that was pickled in the brine and soak it in vinegar afterwards. The same thing with placing pickled herring in vinegar. What if you found out, let's say you make your own homemade pickles, zakuska, right? And you go and you take out the pickled food and you find out it wasn't pickled yet. It's not ready. So now you can put it back if you're going to eat it later that day. But if you're not going to eat it, you need to wait another 2 days till it's ready. You can't put it back. Because when you put it back, you just pickled on Shabbat. Number 7, one may not salt radishes or other vegetables that are normally pickled in a large quantity. However, one may salt one piece at a time and eat it immediately. One may salt many radishes at once if immediately afterwards he pours lemon juice or vinegar on them to weaken the effect of the salt. But if you want to salt a lot of them, right, because the Gemara says they used to eat radishes, but it was too spicy, it's too intense, so they used to salt it to calm down the flavor. So you're allowed to do it as you're eating like a snack, but you can't do a lot at once. That's already considered salting. 8, foods in which salt does not affect the real change, but just adds flavor, are exempt. So let's say you need salt in the food. So you're allowed to add salt to the food because you just want to enhance the flavor a little bit. No, you don't want to change the food. You're not looking to do like a salting process over here. Number 9, even when salting cooked meat or eggs, it's proper not to salt them with the intention of eating them later in the day. But if salting them, the taste will be improved, such with hot food, they'll absorb the taste better, so then it's permitted to be salted even if you eat it later on in the day, but you cannot do it for Motzei Shabbat. Number 10, let's say a person cuts up Israeli salad, or cuts up a bunch of cucumbers and tomatoes. One may salt many sliced tomatoes at once, provided that one does so immediately prior to eating them. So a lady wants to make Israeli salad, she's allowed to put a lot of salt, as long as she does it right before she serves it in the meal. Similarly, one may add salt to a sour pomegranate in order to make it taste sweeter. Let's say I need to make salt water for whatever reason. I need to make salt water on Shabbat. 11, one should not make a large amount of salt water on Shabbat. Even small amounts of salt water are not allowed to be made if they consist of 2/3 salt, because it looks like you're preparing water for pickling. You have to make small quantities in order to be able to be permitted. 12, when Pesach is Shabbat, right, because we need salt water for to dip the karpas, right? So when Pesach is Shabbat, one should prepare the salt water before Shabbat begins. In the event that you did not, you may only prepare a small amount. You can't make a lot. You know, I saw there's some people that sell in the stores. They sell salt water for Pesach, right? It's too hard, I guess, to mix the salt. Or maybe he's machmir. He doesn't want to make it on Shabbat, so he bought it before Shabbat. You know, he doesn't have time before Shabbat, so he bought it, so it's ready to go. He doesn't have to do Yisur on Shabbat. But if let's say a guy didn't make it, he's allowed to make it on Shabbat as long as he makes a small amount, and the salt must be less than 2/3 of the mixture. Sometimes people have toothache, or sometimes some people's tooth fell out. The kid's tooth fell out, and they say make a little bit of salt water and gargle or swash around the salt water. So you have to know, you have to make only a small amount, and it has to be less than 2/3 of the mixture. 13, one may add wine or other juice to vinegar in order to tone down the sharpness of the uksus, of the vinegar. However, one may not add wine or other juice to vinegar in order to turn the wine into vinegar, since this is a form of pickling. A lot of people, they put sugar in the fruits to make it taste sweeter. 14, sugar does not have the capability to pickle an item, therefore it may be placed on a fruit or vegetable on Shabbat, even if Your intention is only to eat it later in the day. 15. One may add kishmish, raisins, or other fruits to water in order to give the water better taste. Some people, they have big bottles of water they drink during the day. They put cucumbers, they put stuff in there to give it a little bit of flavor. You're allowed to do that on Shabbat. This is permitted even if you do it Friday night with the intention of drinking it next day. This is permitted since the fruit is not within the water for 24 hours and it's not considered pickling, because by the time you drink the whole thing, it's gone. It's not less than 24 hours. 16. One may place fruits or vegetables in water for the purpose of keeping them from rotting, even if you don't have attention for them eating it during Shabbat. And that's how we finish the first volume. Baruch Ta'olam. Amen, amen.